Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment you made?
I got some bars to these.
Run Ryan.
Right.
And the other thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
What grade?
That one had to go.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. Fellas, we here at where we kind of at the end of the preseason, but, and I know we're here to talk about Manchester United business, but we're also passionate people about, our local football in Trinidad and Tobago, and this evening we want to do something a little bit different for a bit, all right? Now we have one of the local coaches in Trinidad and Tobago on the panel with us, Darren Ali. Thanks for joining, man.
Right? Yeah, man, no problem. Good night, guys.
Yeah,
Good night.
And what Darren here to do is to really kind of drive in some issues that has been, affecting and hampering grassroots football in Trinidad and Tobago for quite some time. And I remember even when Darren and myself, we used to play back in the day, we encountered this issue all the time, right? Where we were affected in our ability to express, with passion, that kind of thing, right? So, Darren, as a coach, dealing with grassroots football, you see the potential of the guys are going to share a video with you all. And Darren, you could talk us through the challenges and the issues that grassroots football facing in Trinidad and Tobago right now.
Yeah, definitely. Good evening again, everyone. And I really do appreciate the opportunity to come in and have a chat with you guys. Definitely have the heart for young people and more so football. We definitely have to start home. And if you know my life story very quickly, I've been involved in football all my life, from top class in Trinidad, come straight down to getting licks all kind of 15-0 and 21-0 and thing in church football and all kind of thing, right? But this particular issue at hand with Skinner Park, San Fernando, is truly, heartbreaking. You wouldn't understand the magnitude of it until you're actually standing there on the pitch. This is something that was a total breakdown, no sort of communication, and after the fact, there is zero accountability and zero responsibility for this particular incident. Now, if I go quickly back to when it started the Wednesday before, this event was held Sunday morning, foam party, naked and foam or some kind of thing like that. We were, gearing up for training as usual on a Thursday evening, and there's approximately maybe 300 to 400 children using the ground. My program is just but one, maybe accounting for 50 to 70 children. And we were met with a stage, and that's the stage you see in the background there. And, there was no accountability, nothing, nobody, relaying a message saying, well, boy, this ground, have this particular event coming up. And it's only when we saw a group of men talking and things, it's only then somewhat of a quarrel began, and they were very quick to raise their voice and let us know that millions of dollars spent in importing these artists or hiring these artists to come in, and who are we to stop this event? And one was even bold as to issue a threat, do something, and you go see. Anyways, well, I really tried to post some awareness and whatnot. And the sad thing about it is that the only thing that seems to get mileage right now is when something is politically based. And this is not that for me. This is something more community, more sports related, and definitely an environmental issue. Very quickly again, no traction before the event. And this is the aftermath of the event. This is literally Monday morning, I was able to go in and take a video. There was a senator present. She was affected by the noise, and you know, from the road driving past, you could see that the center of the ground is totally a different color from what it was, that nice green color we had before. But when you get out there, then you understand the gravity of the situation. And the hard part about it is that this was the better part of the ground. Yes, believe it or not, Skinner Park actually have a good part of the ground, right? I mean, for us who would have used it over the years. And this is the part, directly in front of the pavilion. Now, planning would I tell you, okay, you're going to have your event. There's so many other places you could have used. If you had to use that particular area in terms of the venue and the ground, no problem. I mean, I can't vouch for that and whatever money pass and whatnot, but there was, just consultation where they tell you, boy, use the other side of the ground where the holes are big, the tire tracks are already there and whatnot. You could have used on the other side, closer down to the Azure Girls College down there. And you would have been able to, save this particular part, because right now we're in peak football season in San Fernando, in Trinidad in general, preparing for schools football, preparing for, well, SFA is going on, and then you have teams training for finals and various tournaments and whatnot that happen in this July August vacation, that a lot of teams might win a little prize money that could help their program and whatnot. Now you have to understand, I'm hearing a lot of kickback about, oh, we didn't book the venue, and to have so much clubs running and they don't pay a cent on the ground. And you know what? We clean the stands, we maintain the grass. At times we have to be the ones cutting the grass. And when you look at the demographic, we reach those who don't have the money to play football, don't have the facility, don't have nothing. And you know what? If we don't give them this opportunity to play, right? Because many players would come to your camp and come to your school and come to your program, and they don't have a cent to pay, right? And what, we're going to stop them from playing football? Imagine how much talent we would have lost out in this world if we didn't have, if we didn't, other coaches didn't allow the Messis and the Ronaldinhos and them boys to get a little chuck. You know what I mean? I could only imagine, right? And that's the opportunity we afford. A lot of young fellas based on using this ground and everything like that. So all that noise unnecessary, because the fact remains is that we're 1 week later, 2 weeks, a week and a half later, well, actually a week later, and the ground is in the same condition. It's still mashed up. That wooden flooring you're seeing there is still there on the ground. The grass is dead. The ground has big potholes, tire tracks, tire marks that trucks would have left. And the worst part about it is, I had a session there on Saturday, yesterday, and you still have that center raw sewage and feces. It smells as though I actually have players letting me know, hey coach, we feeling nauseous. So hey coach, my head hurting me because it's just a really difficult something, and that is just the field area. What about the hundreds of people that actually use the track to run and walk and exercise? You're talking about groups, small pockets of groups with aerobics, march past. I see a lot of groups practicing marching. And I mean, on a Sunday morning, there's a large Spanish community that comes and plays a kind of baseball type something. So the ground is used for that sort of community program, and I think that it's very sad to see the condition that is in, and then we're hit with the talk there after that. We're not producing athletes and we're not producing excellent footballers, and where's the investment and where's the interest and where's all these different things. And I mean, it's a sad day for South football.
Yeah, thanks for that information, and guys, those in the comments, the panel, you all would have seen the pictures or the video, that was on the screen. Now, as I said before, this is something that we, even back in the day, we have been encountering, where around the carnival season, they come and they have events. They don't ask any questions, and even as well, these facilities were constructed and built for sporting purposes, but yet cultural, functions take precedent, and they leave, and we have to pick up the pieces. And this has been going on for years upon years upon years. And Darren, experienced it as a player, and now he's experiencing it as a coach. And he's seen how it's impacting, these young fellas that are growing up and looking for a way out. So, I mean, it's really something that, is a cause for concern. I don't know how we can, Darren, if you can get an audience with the mayor or some person in authority who, would have some understanding or idea of the procedures and the processes that, would they go through to get use of these facilities,
Well,
I
well,
mean,
that's the difficult thing. Sorry, not to cut you across, but that's the difficult thing about it. Everybody is passing the blame. It's not me, it's this one, and it's that one, and it's that one. Um, and it puts us in a position where, again, there's no accountability and there's no responsibility being taken. A simple solution to this entire thing would have been you made your millions of dollars in the event because you charge your entrance fee, $400 a ticket. You paid $450 or $500 cleanup fee. That is for the city corp to clean up after the event, which, mind you, there's still garbage on the ground. Some sort of stipulation could have been, in the contract stating, well, boy, if you mash up the ground, pay to have it rolled, pay to have material drop on it, or some sort of accountability of that sort. It's very difficult to get an audience with the mayor because, again, we're in election season. I believe he's on his way out, and they're looking at all these different, red tape to go through. And to be honest, the advice that was given, which is a very sad thing, is that don't try to do it on your own. I'm literally that one voice crying out in the wilderness. I'm saddened that I'm not hearing anything from the South Zone. I'm not hearing anything from TTFA. I'm not hearing anything from politicians on the whole in general, attached to San Fernando. And I mean, the most I could do is just, keep fighting the fight that I am right now in the way that I am, and hopefully something comes out of it, and I appreciate this platform as part of the fight.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
Darren.
mean, go ahead, Nicole.
No, yeah. As you say, we hope that this platform as well, would help to raise the awareness. I know about Skinner Park as well, and sometimes you go and you play, and then when you go back, you have to worry about break bottle on the ground. You can't tackle, you can't challenge, you have to stay on your feet definitely because it's a break bottle and that kind of thing. Unfortunately, to be honest, I think for them, they've seen it as, not bringing in revenue, where the feds will bringing in revenue, and I think the more revenue and fed based than a sporting based kind of community or country. So it's a fight and they're fighting it, and I'm going to say continue the good fight.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah. Anybody before we thank Darren for being here. Anybody else want to jump in on it?
Wasn't Skinner Park recently remodeled once the money wasn't spent to bring back Skinner Park?
Well, that's the thing, That's the misconception a lot of people have, $131 million was spent on the first ground, the front field, right? They rebuilt the stadium, the stands and everything. They did nothing to the playing pitch.
Right.
So the playing pitch has been the same, which is an exact mirror of the better part of the ground that was ruined on the backfield, so to call it, or the second grounds as we know it as, right? But they didn't even spill $100,000 or $50 on that backfield. They focused on the front ground, and that ground now is not even fit or regulation sized for senior football. They're saying that the most that you could get might be an under 14 game, and if you stretch it, you might get an under 16 game, and that is pending the teams don't protest, because the ground itself is very narrow. They concentrated on having a proper cycling track. So the cycling track, I believe, is regulation size. The facility is beautiful. I mean, when you actually go and sit down in the stands, it's new, it's clean, it's nice, it's big, it's spacious, all of that. But what's the sense? You've spent all that money now, and there's no proper games that could play. So SFA cannot play any senior football there. right? You're having no school football could play there, so it's just a waste of $131 million. And furthermore, they never even thought about spending $1 million even self to uplift the second grounds, the backfield. Instead, they left it as it is.
Yeah.
So it's a real struggle, a real struggle. I mean, we tried to reach out to the corporation and ask them for use of the inside grounds. Every single club and school were asking that, if we could have at least 2 hours a week on the inside ground as a sort of, well, peace treaty, seeing that we're displaced presently. But again, corporation has nothing to do with that, and they're letting us know they're not very interested in assisting us and things like that. So again, we have to wait until election. We have to wait until the new council comes in, and then we could probably continue the fight. So I don't know. I really don't know. It's a dark day for us.
Yeah. Well, guys, I mean, we are aware. We are aware. We know what's going on.
To be going through.
You know, we are aware, and let's hope that this video, this stream, and guys share it up. Let's get it out there. Let's fight for the cause of grassroots football in Trinidad and Tobago. Let's fight for the cause of these coaches who investing in the young people. Right, we seeing that people need an option, and sports. We just talk about sports. When we look at some of the Brazilians, they come from nowhere, and sport was an avenue to make them somebody, right? So, Darren, thanks again for coming on. Let me just get some comments for you, and then we'll move on, right? Yeah, so Barbados, I think this is Phil, right? He's saying what kind of pitch is that, right? He wants to know who maintaining, right? He also asking, is this pitch being used for cricket as well? Because in the Caribbean, especially in Barbados, we put cricket first and all other sports distance second.
No, they doesn't play cricket on that pitch unless maybe
Yeah.
win ball. I don't know.
Yeah, not official cricket, but Asia uses it to train. So they uses it to train for cricket, but they don't really play any games on the ground.
Right. And the son on the inside as well, thanks for joining. He's saying, I saw the video, and being a person from Sando, it is disappointing. I have so many other places to hold, fetes and other types of party activities, places that are not in use anymore, such as Garakara Park. Well, look at that.
That's why I'm saying it's all kind of place in South to hold Fedred. Then it's a right Sapa car park around the corner to hold Fed.
Correct.
But them are real sick, boy.
Yeah.
Sapa was in a mess that Sunday morning, boy. Sapa had real garbage too.
Anderson saying, yeah, keep fighting, Darren. Sando massive.
What you all going
I appreciate
through?
it.
Just an echo of the whole country,
Yeah.
Every weekend when we looking for a field to play our Fed match, it has been pain, because they don't take care of fields at all. Most of the fields in Trinidad overused now, and worse said with the rainy season, it's in a mess. And every time you ask somebody, and nobody wants to say who taking care of the fields, everybody does be putting it on somebody else.
Yeah. Simeon on the inside as well. Thanks for joining, man. He's saying, so nothing has changed, and Simeon living abroad now, right? He's saying, even with the rebuilt stadium cycling track, though nice, it is not even world-level standard size, and is affected by FETs as well. Right? Jody on the inside as well. Thanks for joining, man. Jody's saying here, right now, Lexi and them can't even train, right, school football on Skinner Park background because that party, and that's the same thing that we're talking about. All right? So, I mean, thanks, guys. Thanks, Darren, for coming on and, giving us our awareness. Yeah. So let's hope that you fight, Darren. You have our support here at All in All United. We will continue to provide this platform and give you the opportunity to speak. So as far as this could reach, let's hope that somebody see it and action is taken. Right?
Definitely. I really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the opportunity as well.
Yeah, man.
Darren, good night.
All right, man.
Yeah,
so
man.
take care. Thanks again, Darren.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Yeah. All right, guys. So, I mean, that was a little bit sobering for us, but I mean, we we back to what we have to discuss here and why we here, right? So again, that's it for our preseason preparation ahead of what I think will be an extremely tight, league this season. I mean, you look at how some of the teams, that were already knocking on top half of the league now last season. You're looking at how they prepare and the signings that they're bringing in. And while signings don't really guarantee anything, it's still a signal of intent, and it raises the possibilities of things to work out. If players gel, if they settle quickly, etc. And that's something that every club have to deal with, right? But we've seen our team start our preseason preparation, against Leeds, and we've ended it against Athletic Bilbao. Are you happy with our preseason prep? And I think we're ready for the season? Nico?
Yeah, I guess this preseason was hot and cold, to be honest. It had some moments where we were disappointed. It had some moments where I think we did well. I think overall we still need a few games in the season to really get a match rhythm. I still don't think we have that. Have some players who I think starting to come into their own and are really hoping that they have a big season this season. One, Anthony, I think for the last couple games after he was, if we want to call it benched or rested against Arsenal, I think he came back out stronger, and I'm really hoping for a big season from Anthony. But still, as you say, it has some teams that knock in, and if we don't get our rhythm or gel, it will be a difficult fight. You're seeing Brighton even getting Kudus from Ajax. To me, that's a statement of intent. He's a quality player. So in terms of the preseason, it was what it was. The real thing coming up now, and I think Ten will get it right. I still think we have some work to do, but eventually I think Ten will get it right.
Yeah. Dwayne, what's going on? Talk to me. How you feel?
Listen, I come for real kung fu tonight, man.
You're ready for the season.
Yeah, real kung fu.
Yeah.
Now, but I find this preseason was our preseason.
For real.
In the sense that we get the results that I think we deserve. Because had we win all the games, some men would have be lackadaisical now, boy. Feel the reach. Understand? So losing games to Real Madrid and Dortmund, it kind of will have men checking themselves now, man. Right? Because look, for example, the first half yesterday, men was lackadaisical, right? Real lackadaisical. And whatever Ten Hag cost them up about in the second half, they came out at different United. And that the max, I can't max. Because if that isn't new, why don't show that from the first minute? Understand what I'm saying? When we was under Ole, defense making mistake week in, week out. Under Ragnick, week in, week out. The first month, the season under Ten Hag, defense making mistake week in, week out. How we can pick it up? How we can clean it up? That's how I'm saying. So I think the preseason was our preseason. Right? Things could only get better. I don't believe it could get worse. I don't believe that, man. If it get worse, we real sour.
Yeah.
But things could only get better. And to be honest, I've been seeing improvements in a lot of players. One person who impressed me this preseason was Sancho. Right? compared to the Sancho we had last season, I think this Sancho looking like the Sancho that we want. Understand? And we'll get into other players later, but the only thing could get worse by is Maguire, man. But only
Nah,
that
he
right
can
there.
get worse. Maguire can get worse than that. How he getting worse than that?
I tell you, I come for red kung fu tonight.
He can get worse than that, boy.
But
Red kung fu.
Nah, he hit rock bottom, boy.
let me get JP on it here. All right. Yeah. How you feel? You think we're ready for the start of the season?
I think we are in our preseason really is. I think preseason is more about sorting out fitness and then who ready for the next level. And I think we get the fitness sorted out for the most part. You see players look a little sharper this weekend, and I think we have a few players who give themselves a good platform over the preseason to give Ten Hag something to think about. We have a few of them who I think will be in the thinking for a second team, at least, to come off the bench and could fall in the team when need be. So I think the preseason do that for us. It's now just for us to go and execute, because I think the problem we have is we've causing our own problems, and that starts from the ending up of last season where when we were considering those stupid goals, it's because of things that we did. So for the most part, I don't think we've been undone by any kind of brilliant football. We undoing our own stuff. And you saw that in preseason. And that continuing to happen. So that is something that we definitely have to get out, especially now with our keeper who playing in the position, his starting position that he playing in. I will say it now, Harry Maguire cannot play for Manchester United again, because he is a player who is too prone to errors in the back, and the errors that he makes, Onana will get lobbed at least 60 times this season. Yeah.
He had to practice that run back, boy.
So he had to be out of the club.
You had to run back like your feet and then you running forward.
Instead of training, catching the ball in the training.
Yeah, running back.
Now what you have to do, from the time Maguire touch the ball, you have to start running back.
Yeah, you have to running back.
Yeah, you go. You gotta go back.
And that's the problem there. That's the problem there, because now we can't play his
and you saw it. Yeah, you saw it with Heaton today. After the mistake, Heaton had opportunities to pass to Maguire, and I saw Heaton refuse to do it. I don't know if I pick up on that, but I saw it today where Heaton decided against passing to Maguire in the back.
Yeah.
You blame him?
But what's one? I know for they recognize when, like Ten Hag tell them men and them, when the keeper have the ball, the two centre backs have to pull wide. I watching that in this game and the game yesterday, right? So Lindelof was doing what he's supposed to do today, and Maguire keep calling him man to come closer, right through. Like he can't make a long pass. Anybody he want to pass the ball to, he calling them, come.
Yeah, he's scared, boy.
But I want him to come to the team. You know,
I go wide in. I don't go into open space. Not just go wide.
But what's me?
Maguire playing scared, boy. Maguire afraid to get the ball.
Ball and make up forward.
It was embarrassing to go a friendly in our next country and the fans boo you. That is embarrassing.
I didn't realize that when he get booed too.
Yeah, he get booed after that. Yeah, he get booed after the mistake. Yeah.
Chef, before I come to you, let me just get some of the comments.
That is Ireland, you know.
Yeah, let me go see that.
Yeah. So Phil saying here, and this was just in relation to the last section of the discussion here, right? He say using Brazil as an example is not a bad example, but it's not the ideal example. Right? That country does live, breathe, and eat. Well, live, breathe, eat, and sleep football. 5 World Cups. That's what I gotta say. I think the reference was, they really give priority to development, not the development of footballers. They have so much different camps and clubs, and it's set up for Brazil for footballers to benefit. That's why they produce so much. All right. Lying on the insight, thanks for joining, man. Sometimes you win all your games in preseason, then it's pressure all season. So true. So sometimes preseason is not really.
Mark Stepford, things, boy. Love is lovely, boy. What is this?
He also saying Sancho has been a standout performer for the preseason.
That chance he missed today,
yes.
that's too easy. That's too easy.
Yeah, boy,
that's too easy. You
gotta
take them thing.
Yeah.
You put on your left foot. Yeah, and you have your right foot, comfortable on your right foot, you can on your right foot.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, I was saying he could take that shot easy with the right foot, man. He had
that
much harder.
That was the right foot.
He could have tripped the keeper too.
He can do anything he wants.
But he plays on his weaker foot, and then he tried to do what? Power up off. Somebody else told me power up off the last time. Was it a power up off?
They Monk just a power up off in front of the goal.
Phil saying here, if Monk don't be careful, Amrabat going to take his place. Having a midfield of Amrabat, Casemiro, and Bruno is quite enticing. No doubt.
That spot is main on.
No, but other people in the squad for me could take Monk pick.
I mean, no spot.
The only reason Monk playing is because he price tag right now. That's the only reason he playing. But anyway, I know the early days still.
Yeah. And Anderson saying here, this week going to be hard week of training and shipping out players. Yeah, we're going to see plenty.
That's not. Chef, wait, so that's not there?
I don't find Mount was that terrible for the preseason. I will say, in light the place at fire or nothing like that. But
so you find he was
decent,
good?
But he had to take a chance.
Decent?
I say he was decent. Yeah.
Chef, decent? Nah, boy, that's... Well, anyway, maybe I'm looking for more out of my midfielder. Maybe for me, I'm looking for more out of my midfielders. So, decent, I wouldn't even put decent in that. But anyway. Need to do more.
I find whether give them time to do because it's a system he has to learn too, yeah? So I think we have to give him time, and this is part of the pressure that we as the fans shouldn't put on him, because you know what? The media are going to do that for us already.
Is Manchester United they're playing for? I just saying, is Manchester. You're not talking about Manchester United.
I understand that, but at the same time,
Dan, don't do that. Regardless of who you're playing for, in a new system, the man, you are the man automatically click. You're wicked or what?
No, I wait to click a ball to tap in the goal. You're training since you're 6 or 7 years old. A ball in front of the goal like that for yesterday. You shouldn't miss that. No, you shouldn't miss that.
And I am not disagreeing with you, but he's not the only one for the preseason.
They don't know training style and no. All right.
But he's not the only one on Manchester missing in front of the goal. Rashford missing in point blank in front of the goal.
Nah, but me missing nothing else like that. No, that one yesterday. No, that one yesterday I could have stopped watching the game after that. What that miss? Listen what I'm telling you. That miss yesterday deflated that whole team, you know, for a period, you know. And then when Dalo come and do his foolishness and come and get lob, right? That misdeflated the whole team. Yeah, go ahead.
So that makes Dalo do his foolishness too.
Say that again?
That make Dalo do his foolishness.
No, I'm telling you, that misdeflated that whole team. Men still in the head saying about how 60 million he could miss that. Men, that's going to men head.
Well, all right, I'm saying it now. If we players remain so that a man miss and the whole game drop, then we is real shit.
Nobody else happen.
You cannot
Nobody
tell me you're playing big football too. You can't tell me you're playing big football, so a man miss and everybody and then drop men whole game.
Well,
Come on,
maybe,
man.
well,
In
I
a
was feeling maybe
season
I
game?
say I could have take off the game. You know, that's how I feel. So I was
Talk for
thinking everybody
yourself.
feeling the same way.
Talk
So
for
I talking for
yourself. You
myself.
tell me you.
Everybody was feeling
Talk
the
for
same way
yourself.
too.
Talk for yourself. Don't
How
tell me
it is
about no
my
men
$60
who
million
get paid no 100
signing,
and 200,000 a week. That time
right?
taking
My
that.
$60 million signing
So
missing a
if
whole
you say
opening goal.
yeah,
Yeah?
I concerned because I be honest with you, I not seen enough, right? But at the same time, I agree with JP. Let me give it some time. Let me see. It's
Yes,
still
and I
early.
agree.
It's still early, but the jury out. 'Cause I ain't
one more.
seeing,
And we
enough.
could all agree to that.
Yeah.
We,
Um,
and not just he.
This is our 10 hag
I
signing.
seen
And that
from
is
most
so-
of the team.
that's why I'm not getting worried because Ten Hag wanted him. This is the first player we get through the door. Ten Hag know why he bring him in early. Ten Hag know why he wanted this player. And so far, with the signings that Ten Hag bring in, everybody so far has done well.
but JP, let me ask you something. Right? You
Yeah.
say Ten Hag, this is Ten Hag signing and Ten Hag want him.
Right.
Why, in your opinion, why you think Ten Hag was so adamant on Mount?
The energy that Mount bring in to the midfield that Ericsson doesn't have. You see that? I think that one is the main difference.
That is
Also,
JP's right.
Mount
When Ten Hag was asked that question,
yeah.
he did say it is the energy that Mong bring. He said nothing about a goal scorer,
No, he said
right?
that. No, he said that too. He said he could score goals and he
He
can
can
create
say,
chances
but
as
he
well.
did right.
Are you sure?
But he
Like,
said what he brings to the team is his energy and movement. How the man say, right? Now we as fans,
Yeah.
right?
But
Because we know how our
goal create is
midfield,
all well
what
and
we
good,
expect from
but
our
you want end
midfield,
product.
we want, Mount to be this level.
Yeah.
And worse yet, he went in number 7, right?
Boy,
So
target on your
I
back.
think we have to give him time and judge his performance on how the team play for this season.
No, but let me just point out something. Like from his first game to the last game that he played, I think you could see where he becoming more involved in the attacking play, where he find himself in better positions in the box. So yes, he may have missed that easy goal yesterday, Nico, but it didn't deflate him. You saying it deflate other players. And I think that would, as Chef saying, that more talk to the other players' mentality, where they shouldn't let them get them down. But what we saw with Mount, to me, he didn't stop. It didn't change how he was trying to play. It didn't change how you were seeing him getting in the box. It didn't change his involvement in the game. So it shows me that we have a player there who he wants to settle, he wants to fit into how the team playing, and he wants to get involved in not just in the forward play because you're seeing him running back too. So it's an upgrade to Ericsson on that front where you have a player who not giving Casemiro all the defensive work to do. So he helping out Casemiro in that aspect too, and still trying to get forward in the box because he's a player have real energy. So I think we really have to be fair. Is less than is what 10 games is so much he play already with the team. We ain't played 10 games yet, so
Eight.
we didn't even
About
play
8.
10 games.
Well, now we all 6.
Right?
We all 6. But the
Because
jury's
he
still
didn't
out.
play 2.
The jury
Right.
is still out. And he has
Well,
to
that's
prove.
the thing.
He
So
has
now
to
it's-
prove to us, right? He
Right.
has to prove to us sooner or later that he deserves to be in this team, and we will be holding him to the high standard. We will be holding him to the high standard.
But you know something, right? In my estimation, I was expecting somebody who would have been better on the ball, as opposed to somebody who would give you more off the wall work. you
More
know?
industry.
Yeah.
A little more kind, a little more creativity, a little more.
So I was looking at an upgrade on Ericsson as the player rather than the position. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
The qualities Ericsson bring on the ball in terms of being able to control the
Ericsson-
football, control the game, control the pace of the
I
game.
get you.
A younger Ericsson. I'm
You
like,
looking for him to
Yeah.
have
Some-
a hold on the ball.
Yeah, to
something
control
like
and
that.
I
create
agree.
and help
I
create.
yeah.
Yeah. Let me just get some. I'm gonna go through the comments and then we go move on, guys. All right. So Anderson was saying here that this week coming up here gonna have real hard training and we gonna see some movement in the market, right? Yeah. Rishi Shripper on the inside. Good night, man. He said Maguire is assists both
Yeah.
goals today. Yeah, for real. He also saying here Sancho, Palestri, Emeran, and Fernandez impressed me. Feel sorry for me, definitely one for the future, of course. And I think nobody knows
The little right back, the little right back from who played the Wrexham game, who scored.
Gerardo.
I find he's quality. He's one for the future.
Yeah.
But Dan,
Rishi also
you
saying
see
here-
this
Go ahead.
Fernandez? Jeez,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he good.
I find Fernandez real good though.
Yeah. You
I
have
think
quality.
I'm looking
You have a
at
quality
him.
left foot too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rishi saying here, when Maguire going for the ball or going to trap it, he does look like a cartoon character with legs moving in one spot before taking off. Yeah, but missing. Yeah. Lion saying Maguire nervous.
I tell you, as Maguire see a man running to me, man, he forgetting about football and pulling down men, boy.
Yeah,
He
but
forgetting the ball on the ground
Yeah,
and just pulling down men.
Yeah.
Anderson saying here, anytime Lindelof plays with Maguire, he does say the man does always make him look bad. Yeah. Lion saying, no, they can't give him wrong. He's the most meme player in world football. Right. Simeon saying here, I admire Maguire for trying to make up for the mistake with the assist, but he simply ain't good enough.
And that is it. He just not good enough. Simple as that.
Yeah, and the man confidence take a real hit, boy.
Yeah.
Real hit. You see the man scared, boy.
Make you think if he ever really had confidence,
Lion saying here, the expectations from Mount going to be higher because his number and price tag. That's true. That's true. Yeah, Simeon saying here, number 7 can't just be decent. We try to
boy.
catch City, and it's clear Mount hardly closes the gap. That should be the goal.
Agreed.
We can't be so
Pushing
hard.
pushing wing. Alright. Kidan on the inside, good night, man. Kidan, he's saying I prefer a double pivot with Casemiro and potentially Amrabat or Meno. Hopefully Mount comes to his own. The man is a Man United player, we know against him, but we just saying what we seeing, right? Nico, Kidan said, Nico, the ball was behind him.
What's that poor
on his-
excuse,
his
Kidan?
left,
Come on.
and these things
Come
happen
now,
to the best
man.
players. No big
No,
deal for
don't do
me.
that. No.
I ain't taking that. Nah.
I ain't taking that.
He don't do that. That's supposed to be good.
Nah,
Like good.
we ain't taking that.
Yeah, we
Right?
taking that.
I ain't taking
finally,
that.
yeah,
I, with my big belly, get them chances in front of goal, I point the keeper.
The keeper done gone, and the man keeper in the picture.
yeah.
It don't even have a keeper in the picture.
Don't do that.
Last comment here.
Not
Rishi
them
saying
kind
here,
of chances.
yeah. Mount coming from a Chelsea system to here, he not going to sparkle just yet. Have some patience, man.
Oh yeah, I having patience.
That's what I
So for
say.
some reason, but you know what?
No, I believe that it have a real good player there.
I don't know. I feel going to take some digging out. Like how I have a lot of patience for Anthony. I think Anthony will come good. You know, I think Anthony will come
Anthony
with
play
it.
a whole season for me, and
Yeah,
Anthony
but
play
I'm
a
saying
whole
so.
season for me, and the jury's still out. And
He will come good. He will come good this season earlier. Trust me, he will come good. So you see like how I had a confidence
talking
that
about
Anthony
Anthony?
will come good. Yeah, and you see how I had a confidence Anthony will come good. You know, there's some players like Van der Beek that I tell you from the early, hey, this man not cutting it. I just having that feeling about Monk. But anyway, the verdict's still out, and I go buy my time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But truth be told, right? Nico was never wrong about a player. He was never wrong.
You are telling all you. The only player who and still real shaky is Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka real improve, but still he real shaky on the ball, but he real improve.
So guys, let me get to this one, right? And I want to start with Dwayne, right? The goal that we conceded against Lens or Lons or whoever is pronounced it, right?
Lord.
Lon, right?
Like law?
Who? Yeah. All right. Who fault, right? Because some people saying it's Dallo, some people saying Onana should have been Hill line. Now, and this is for everybody here. Always see this as a potential problem going into the season, considering the way Ten Hag wants us to play, and possibly the fact that Onana will get caught out a lot and we will get ball, we will get plenty chip, you'll get real lob.
Oh, me first?
I could
Yeah.
answer. Oh, yeah, ask
All right.
Go ahead now.
Well, to be honest, with the system we're trying to implement, I expecting goals, right? Because it's something new, and men will make mistakes. But I'm not accepting silly mistakes, right? No, with what happened yesterday was a silly mistake, right? I don't blame Onana because from what we're trying to play, he was where he's supposed to be, right? He may appear to be far out, but in the system we're trying to play, he is supportive of the defense, which technically become a midfield with how we're trying to play, right? So he being there, he not expecting these big hardback men to make those type of silly mistakes right in front of him, right? No, with that being said, Onana have to learn the players he playing with quick
Very quick.
because it has some players he definitely cannot depend on to keep with the system that they're trying to play. Look at yesterday, after Dallo made that mistake, all Onana passes went to Martinez. You know why? Because he trusts Martinez, because he played with Martinez before, he know what to expect. Right? No, it's not supposed to be so because he's supposed to trust everybody
Yeah.
in that back line, right? And anytime you start not trusting any player, it brings the system. Right? It brings the system. So I throw the blame 80% on Dallo and Onana to take a little L too. Because he's supposed to be watching video he players.
No, because Dallo doing that every season. Dallo had that in him.
Exactly. You know,
Dallo
so
doing that right too.
I'm sure he got a message about Maguire. That is why he jumped on Maguire case
Of course, early.
in the last game, right?
Yeah.
So probably nobody didn't gain no inform Dallo. So that's why he had to take an L for me, L 20%. But the 80% is on Dallo. Because I say earlier on, them silly mistakes, unacceptable.
Chef?
That's my foot.
Yeah. Chef?
Man, this Sunday, I don't want to use no upsy. So let me take my time. Dan, I had to be a effing madman to blame Nana for that. Boy, on them on shit, yo. And let me tell you something, if all you realize, it had real nonsense plays leading up to that, That was coming, Because if you watch, our defense was shaky and making one set of misplays, and eventually we come and pay for it. Brother man, we have a keeper who had to play a high press. That is the football we want. If I give you a pass, dog, the keeper, I'm not expecting you to do that nonsense. So as a man, as Nico and them say, if that's what we do, then we have real ball to get. So and you saying that how he's supposed to know he players, then he now come there. Like how much games he played Dallo?
Let me
First
first game with
one,
Dalo.
first one.
Let me first game with Dalo.
As the first one with Dallo. So you not
Yeah.
thinking to yourself, because let me be real. That pass wasn't no boom card bullet
Yeah.
pass that
He
Dallo
just
could
passes for the
take.
attacker.
Come
He just
now,
passes for the
man.
attacker. A nice through ball for the attacker.
Come now, man. Them things not good enough. Man, this is not men who playing under 14. This is for internationals, you know. The men playing for the country, you know. That can't be good enough. So for me, I say that now coming out of preseason, my biggest worry is our defense. I want our defense because to beat top teams, they have to be on point. It can't be, oh, we still learning and making mistakes. That's not good enough. That's why you have prison. You have preseason to work out little kinks. You might have a 1 or 2 games in the, but then you have to start running because everybody gunning for that top positions now. Our defense have to do better, have to. And in front of goal, I swear, like when Fergie leave, every player that come Manchester United forget how to score goals. We can't be playing games and getting chances. What Mount get, what Sancho get, what Anthony get, what Rashford get over the weekend, and missing them because them things is the difference between opening a game and a game being tight and putting pressure on the defense. They have to score and just open up a game.
Yeah, yeah. This next question is for Nico and JP, right? Now, Ten Hag spoke before about transition football. Now, my opinion, right? I mean, I think Chef did mention it in passing just now, in terms of the way we were playing yesterday, and this is the long game, the Lons game. I was pleased with how we went about playing the game, the football match itself. I know we would have won in the end, but in terms of how the game went, you all were pleased. It had things that concerned you, were pleased you. Go through now.
I think we had moments where you saw the kind of intricate football that you want to see. But I think there was a period in the game where it was the long time England football where you just hit a long ball. And because we know we have Rashford on top who could run fast, and that's why I don't want Rashford playing centre forward this season. Because Rashford is not the centre forward who will come and get the ball in midfield, bounce it, and then run. Rashford looking to run with the defense to just break the line. So you were seeing where Casemiro, Bruno just looking to hit a long ball one time. And I don't like that because I don't teams will prepare for that. And they will just play deeper and do give Rashford space to run into. And then we will be lost for ideas. So I always feel like we have so much more talent in the team to unlock a defense, to pass the ball, possess the football, play it around, and then who is the player in the team that will decide time to up the tempo? And I think that is the midfielder that most of us wanted in the team. That midfielder who will be like, time to up the tempo. And he will play a quick pass and run. And then everybody will know it's time to up the tempo with the attack. And then we look to break through and score from there. But we're not really seeing that with the team right now. We're seeing moments of intricate football on the top of the box that are not really leading to anything. And then we're seeing the ball over the top. Honestly, I find when Sancho playing the false nine, we getting better football out of the team than when Rashford playing as the striker. That's my observation from this preseason. The team playing better football because Sancho coming deep, getting involved in the play, You're getting runners going beyond him, and he then going forward from there. But with Rashford, he just looking to stay in line with the defense and looking for the ball over the top.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what JP said there. From last season coming into this season, we know Ten Hag was going like for De Jong, right? You wanted De Jong, we know that he was going down dying for that De Jong because we know what De Jong does bring. De Jong does bring that. De Jong would possess the ball, right, and create chances, but I could be that trigger and press resistant as well. So we don't have that in the team. We don't have that type of player in the team, and to me, that is the piece that we're missing. And I may know, but
Yeah.
that Meno brings that calmness and that presence in the midfield, that vision, that 30. Not like I'm not picking on him earlier, but not like a Mount who head this down and want to run, but a player who think in the game as well. And I think that is what we're missing. A lot of the football yesterday was played, let me say, from the centre backs to the wing backs, more or less to the wingers to run on to, other than we using the midfielders to create chances for us. Man. The midfielders wasn't creating chances for us. We were just hoping that, a quick ball get on to Garnacho, a quick ball get on to Anthony, and, we could play Rashford to run on to. But at the end of the day, that might work for some teams. But for majority of the teams in the Premier League, no, that won't work. That's easy. That's easy to defend. So we need players who could possess the ball. We need a proper midfield. And to me, that is what we're missing. I think the defense, as much as we have Varane and Martinez, they could work it out. Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, and Shaw, they could work it out. Garnacho, Sandro, if you play Sancho, if you play Anthony, Rashford, I think they could work it out. But you see, that midfield, to me, that is why I think, we're missing that one player. And I think we were seeing it before, and we saw it with Meno when Meno played some of those games. We were saying, boy, because that was waxing lyrical about Meno, because that is what we want to see. But without Meno in that team, you're seeing where we're missing that.
Amrabat coming.
I don't know if Amrabat is that type as well. Amrabat maybe are all, action player. Like a Fred or a Mount,
All action.
Yeah, but we don't need that as much as we need his. Yeah, as much as we need his quality, but we need somebody who could possess the ball, right, and be that technician, on the field. That quality with a high IQ kind of football.
I may know,
and that is what we need. I think for me, that is what we're missing right now.
Yeah. Just get some comments here.
Bad game.
Yeah. Lion saying here, you had to be on point with those passes. That's Dalot's fault. All right. Wakanda Forever on the inside. Thanks for joining. She's saying here, Onana will not get caught out in the league because the ball will be in the other half of the field.
Nah,
the way we build this football, it is them defenders as Dwayne was saying, them defenders just see the most of that ball, right?
Yeah.
So
and some teams just press well too. So if there's some teams press well and win the ball high up the pitch, there should be some problems.
Yeah. Simeon saying here, growing pains for this team. I just hope we have the players that are physical enough to shield and move the ball effectively. I think we have good enough passers, but the mental absences is worrying.
Now, long ago, not in the squad, mentally we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Nah,
that's a huge thing. You see, that mental absences.
The moderator just gone.
Yeah. You might come back in. I guess we could continue. I don't know where. Okay, you're coming back in there now.
Yeah. Sorry about that, fellas. Yeah. Lion saying here, you have to be aware of your surroundings too. Dalot could have given it to Onana and all. Yeah. But I mean, that was so unforced. Dalot just do stupidness, right? Dalot just do stupidness. Yeah.
And as Dwayne said, this preseason, so let we figure it out now. Figure it out now and let us need fresh Dalot mind going into the season. Let's get fresh Dalot mind going into the season.
As I said that, let me just bring up a comment from Ten Hag here, right? Ten Hag said, right, for next week, and he was asked about the Wolves game. You know, how ready the team is and so forth if he decided on 11. And he said for next week, there are still 1 or 2 positions with considerations of who will start. Who all you think are the 2 positions and the contenders that he referring to here?
Right?
Honestly, I think it's one. But you maybe say 2 to maybe, spark something out of somebody else. But I think it's 1. Dwayne, you're on mute.
Where's the
Dwayne, you're on
one?
mute.
Right back and forward position.
The right
And the
back,
forward,
but the
right back and
forward
forward position.
Yeah, but the forward
'Cause-
position, we know he going inside Rashford. We know he going inside Garnacho. We know
We-
he going
yeah.
inside Anthony. So
Right,
I
but what I'm
think
saying,
that
what I'm
to see what
saying.
he could get out of Sancho
Yeah.
in this coming week.
Exactly.
But the right back is the only position up for grabs.
All right, back.
The right back. Yeah.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
people will ball. If you see drop Dallo, Wan Baza, and put Fernandez, listen to me.
Nah.
Men go
No,
on
but
today,
Fernandez playing left back. Fernandez playing left back.
Right.
Me sure what
Boy,
happened
can
to
you
Saka thing
not
earlier.
put it
Boy,
in front of two of
Well,
them.
them a thing. Because Bissaka is one and then Dalot is tripped, then Bissaka.
Right,
with the
but
kind of
no,
football,
but-
I don't know why.
No, but
Head him for that right back position.
nah, but the mistakes what Dallo making,
All right, back position.
He had to admit.
Let him go.
Wan-Bissaka don't make them mistakes,
Yeah.
That you have to give Wan-Bissaka that he don't make.
What?
No, listen.
Nah, he don't make that mistake.
No. I never say he don't make mistakes,
Yeah.
But that particular mistake
Yeah.
with them bad pass, them backward bad pass, Wan-Bissaka don't do that. Wan-Bissaka will quicker lose the ball, trying to do some nonsense, right? But them back pass thing, Wan-Bissaka ain't doing that. Every time Wan-Bissaka get the ball, he body his face for one time, looking to run like a crazy man, Understand? So that one thing he have over Dallo. Dallo thing he have over him is Dallo have a little more confidence on the ball
Yeah.
than Wan-Bissaka.
And
Yeah,
quality
more
too.
coordinated.
And quality. Right?
Yeah.
So that is with Ten Hag. That is with Ten Hag. And that Fernandez call there earlier, that's not a bad call. That is not a bad call.
But we playing
Fernandez
Fernandez.
don't play
We playing
he
Fernandez
don't
for who? Wait.
Yeah.
No, I say because Ten Hag is a man could do so and start at 3. Because look today he end up with a 3, He could do so and start with a 3. No, you never know.
I seen that.
Ten Hag is a man if you can't
Predict?
you can't predict the man.
Nah, you can predict Ten Hag, man. Last season we could have predicted Ten Hag, man.
Nah, during the game we is transition to 3. If you notice the like today,
Them fellas are stuck in. The wing backs are stuck in.
Let me just now. What you saying, Edwin?
Like Ten Hag like forcing too. I don't know where he could play, but he like forcing, man.
Yeah.
After he integrated forcing with the senior team a lot for this preseason.
I surprised more than Hannibal.
Yeah.
I find
More than Hannibal.
I find Hannibal had a decent preseason, but still,
Yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked to see Force. I was shocked to see Forson start so much games, play so much game with the senior team.
Yeah.
My thing is the way how Ten Hag seemed to want us to play this season. He want quick wingers and forwards. He want quick front players. He lost Elanga, so you have to bring in somebody else, right? And you see that transition you're talking about. You need players like of the Forson mold.
Yeah.
That's why I see Forson getting so much opportunities because Ten Hag has always said he need strikers.
Yeah.
But going back to Hannibal, I find in the time Hannibal was on the pitch today, he gave more than Van der Beek for the entire half Van der Beek play. And I just
Agreed.
seen here earlier.
I agree
Agreed.
with that.
Agreed.
I agree. It had some comments I had missed earlier when you know, we had the different segments. So I just wanted to get them in, right? Arun, I don't know if fella's still on the inside, but thanks for joining. Andy Ramnarayan, thanks for joining, man. Javed as well, right? Yeah, man, thanks for joining. And Malik,
Good job.
he's saying good morning. Where you from, boy? Right.
India, I seen an I and a D. That is for a flag. So never know maybe India or something.
Okay, that's okay. Well, I mean, I hope you're still on the inside. You know, thanks for joining, man. Some more comments here. Lion saying here, there were many times we unlocked the team with 3 passes. Bruno has been key to unlocking teams. All right. He also saying here, but the balls were getting to the players. We just didn't finish our chances. All right. Simeon saying here, looking for a schools type then.
Yep.
I have
That what we need.
That what we need. All right. Simeon, what questions do you have on
we had a destroyer. We had a destroyer in Casemiro, and we need that playmaker type.
Ato.
Great, Chef.
The chef freeze up.
All right.
Ato. No, that's me. I've been hearing constantly the Amrabat talk over and over. But to me, that is not the midfielder we're looking for. If it's anything, I don't think we need our next box to box. It's a playmaker needed.
Yeah.
No, but the thought surrounding Amrabat is a cover for Casemiro, because when Casemiro do his dotishness, we had nobody, right? So Amrabat, that is what he more is coming for. But people just saying that in certain games, you know, against tougher opponents, we might see him and Casemiro, and we know Casemiro could do the 6 and the 8. So you never know, right? I think it's a very, very, I think it's a good option. I think it's a very good option.
Yeah.
Eric saying here, along with Menu, our attack on the wings needs to improve. We are one of the lowest teams in the league regarding crosses into the box. Well, hopefully the fact that we have a striker now who would like to be in the box with more balls inside.
But who is the winger we had a cross? We had no wingers with cross. Everybody on a cutting and shoot.
Wingers don't cross.
Everybody on a
It's
cutting
wing
and
backs cross.
No, but you know what Ten Hag gotta do to solve that problem?
You
know what Ten Hag gotta
cross?
do? No, you know what Ten Hag gotta do to solve that problem? He had to put Anthony on the left and Rashford on the right. Because remember when Rashford used to play on the right, he used to cross, eh?
Exactly.
I can't. That one we got so long. I can't remember that.
Watch me. What you see? Remember Man City before Haaland came in? Man City was playing plenty crosses in the box before they even had Haaland in the team.
Yeah.
So not because we get a striker who get in the air, we go and get balls in the box, because our players don't play that way. Our wingers don't play like that.
Yeah.
And it's
Javed
been like that
saying
for years.
Yeah.
Javed saying here, the quality of the chip to be on Onana was top class. Right?
Nah, man.
Not every time they try, they will score. Onana unlocks so much in this team. We have to live with the risk.
That was no top class chip. Damn, what long time I'm gonna have all on target. That was goal enough.
Yeah.
That was a whoop.
What? Onana was so far. Onana was so far off the line. All that. That is all. That is class chip.
Lion saying here the two positions are up for grabs as left wing and right back.
I agree with McGregor.
Hey, that left wing, it's not fight up with that left wing all there.
Left wing? You fine?
No, because the argument is, I find Sancho has been doing very, very well when he get called upon for that.
Sancho is not going to start in front of Garnacho. Sancho is not going to start in front of Garnacho. That is not going, and he's not going to start in front of Rashford either.
I think that's where the headache is there, but I honestly find we look better with Sancho as a first line.
They were saying.
And then after that chance we missed today, and
what Rashford scored yesterday. But you watch how Although what you saw, the confidence Sancho playing with, unless Sancho played today, I find Sancho was so good today.
Sancho's balling right now, this is Sancho we wanted.
He will come off the bench after 75 minutes.
Do you all think? All right.
Now, boy.
Talking about a playmaker midfielder, you all think Sancho could play that role?
Nah, he's too soft.
Yeah, Ten Hag would have liked him to play the role, but Ten Hag trying with him, Ten Hag trying by, but he got in he like a kind of small goal kind of. He see the football right. You want somebody who could see the football big and wide, see the football in the mind 3 and 4 plays ahead. Sancho watching to see who we go put the ball through his leg and then look nice.
You're wicked.
Right?
You're wicked. Don't do the man that. Don't do the man that.
That was his Sancho mind.
Yeah, he was better. He was better than that. He was better than that.
Okay, my point is this. Sancho, to me, and I could be wrong, he do see 3 and 4 plays ahead.
I just glad it's
and that's what we need.
Telling Nico that.
Nah, Sancho come good. Sancho looking too good, man.
But it have no way.
Listen,
it have no way Sancho starting over on the weekend.
We can't
unless
have too
someone
much.
get injured. Unless someone get injured.
No, but what I'm saying is we can't have too much of the same thing in the team. We need something dynamic. We need something a little bit unpredictable, and that was Sancho giving here. Because everybody know when Bruno get the ball, what Bruno gonna do. Everybody know when Casemiro get the ball, we gonna do. Everybody know when Garnacho, Anthony, or Rashford get the ball, what they gonna do. Everybody know that.
All right, well, if you want to mix it up, try Pelestrini in that area because Pelestrini is not soft. You can't say Pelestrini soft.
Pelestrini bad, boy. Watch man. That is man.
Let me talk about men who go actually get picked now. I did discussion. Pelestrini good, but Pelestrini not gonna play earlier. I tell him that Pelestrini not gonna play. He's not gonna play.
I would dream on that one. But I could tell you Sancho not starting. Because here what? You see especially at Old Trafford open there this season. You want to see Garnacho flying down that wing. Garnacho going to get space to fly down that wing. You have to. Rashford, you're not starting Rashford the first day this season.
Hojlund is not starting, so Rashford. Garnacho, Rashford, Anthony.
There's a no-brainer earlier. That is a
Garnacho, Rashford, Anthony. That's it.
You commented for Sancho to tip toe around, man.
It's gonna be a headache when Hojlund come on to play.
Ten Hag looking for peace.
Hojlund.
Right?
The man say pronounce it properly, Hojlund.
JP, what you saying there?
No, I was saying that the left side would be a proper headache when let me call my first name, Rasmus.
You're wrong again. The man said the R is silent. It's Asmus. It's Asmus.
What?
Yeah, he was an interview, right? He was an interview and they asked him pronounce his name. His name is Asmus Hojlund.
Here what going on. You see that? We had to hide that video because if we flop, they're gonna use it and sink here, right?
Asmus Hojlund. I want to hear that.
Hey. So Ethan Lynch on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. Blessings and love to you as well, man. Glad to have you on the inside. Yeah, Lions saying here, Basaka made a bad pass to lead into a goal. Right? Ethan saying here, but one positioning does be bad. Right? And so he slide tackles to get back. Alright, Kurt's on the inside. Kurt, good night, man. Thanks for joining in. And yeah, you know the drill, you're late. Alright. Eric saying here we need to rotate one and double depending on your position. Yeah. I think this is one you just don't know where you just get from one. You know, you want that, you want Bissaka make you what Dalo. Then when Dalo come, he make you one, you know?
Yeah, right, true.
Kurt saying here he really happy that Pelestri scored today.
But is that a position that you really want to be rotating, so?
No, but I don't think you have a choice, eh?
No, but why not? Watch, man. You see, we had a guess at this mentality of a fix starting 11, because if we're looking at the team now, we're trying to be like in all honesty is Manchester City.
And they rotate right through.
Man City just rotate. Your place not sure in that team. Riyad Mahrez scored a hat-trick one game and then you didn't see him in the next game. So we had to be thinking like that level.
Yeah.
We can't be thinking, well, this is one the slacker position and this is Dalot. We don't have that. This is Garnacho, the left side is Garnacho or is Rashford. We shouldn't be thinking like that. You have to have quality players so that in this game, Rashford will get a rest. But when Garnacho playing, is the same level that you're getting coming onto the field. We
That
can't be
utopia.
thinking
That,
Yeah,
that,
that's what we keep on saying. You don't want,
that utopia.
the one-
Let
you
me
don't
see
want
if we get
to
it.
drop one subs, mate.
Utopia, Diamond City. There's no
Well,
Utopia.
that,
There's
well,
Man
that
City.
utopia, man, the utopia. Them reach are you holy grail. That is.
Yeah, but we are Manchester United and if we want to be back on top, we have to chase Utopia, you know?
Yeah,
Because
agreed.
if the club not thinking at that level, then we will never catch Man City. So
Agreed.
we can't be
Agreed.
thinking have a
100%.
starting 11 and then one or two men who play.
Yeah.
No, you had to have two teams. So today when I watching the game today, I was thinking, all right, let me watch and see if there's like a Carling Cup team where we could rest our whole 11 and say there's the 11 are playing in the Carabao Cup. Sorry, playing Carabao Cup. That's what we gotta be thinking. We can't be running Bruno and Casemiro and then first to the ground playing in our Carabao Cup. We have to have a second 11 that's strong enough to throw out in them kind of games.
Yep.
How Scott then play today? Injury or?
Injury.
England.
Who cares?
No, well, I looking to see if we get money to buy players, because if it is a sale, I looking the money I looking for, and then I seen Nottingham Forest going for who's he? The goalkeeper going for? Matt Turner, the American. So what gonna happen with Henderson? We need money. We need players. We still need that proper midfield.
Just to touch back before I go back to the comment, just to touch on something JP was saying there. I think that's important, and Ten Hag keeps stressing last season the importance of a squad, right, which is more than 11 players, and we actually seeing some semblance of the second string looking much better in terms of our style of play. You know, man for man, when you compare, because I mean, I've been honest with you, I still feel we have somewhere to go. Because when I watch the two teams that Newcastle put out, because they did something similar to us, back-to-back games, and they played two different 11s. And the first 11 played Fiorentina, and they wiped Fiorentina like on the ground. They did all kind of thing. And then today, I can't remember who they played today, and they beat up that team and all. And the two 11s were very, very strong 11s, competitive 11s. So I still feel we second 11 while the team playing good. They're playing good. I still feel on a quality level against proper opposition. I still feel we want it.
If Maguire and we second 11, that drop in your levels by about 20% immediately.
One person I'm comfortable with is Heaton.
Yeah, Heaton decent.
Yeah, Heaton actually see Heaton play, so I know he good. You know, before you never used to see Heaton play.
So
and Koba was on the bench.
I think Heaton is the Carabao Cup keeper.
Let me just get some of the comments there, guys. Anderson saying here, he feeling sorry for Diallo.
Yeah, we put Let's get a chance now. Let's get more minutes because of that.
Yeah. Could say here that Dango had a Dango was pretty tidy today.
Yeah, today.
Yeah. Anderson saying here this is Sancho last season.
I don't know. I think he had.
I don't know about all that. He been saying that about Martial too.
Yeah, I forget about TS.
Next.
10:25 p.m. and this is the first time Martial mentioned in this podcast.
No, because Manchester United move on from Martial. You move on from Martial.
Good saying here, yeah, boy, the man come back and to star and come and get injured. All right, I think you're talking about Diallo. All right, Ason saying here, it's not the ideal thing to be rotating your defense, your back four. rotation, yes, but don't really want to be tinkering with your back four too often. I think JP kind of, answered this question pretty well. All right. He also said Newcastle is a team to watch. Yeah, I'm telling you. Well, this is a good segue for the next part, the last point that we want to discuss today earlier. Right? Season prediction. Right? Now, earlier, I know especially you see Nico and Phil, them is the two that like to play safe. And I don't know, we wait until the first 10 games. No, we can go through that. Right? Just like how you will go and you'll play fantasy and you'll pick, your 11 or how much ever players based on whatever, that will be doing here. Right? So fellas, let me get your top 4 prediction for the league and how you see Man you fitting in that. And we go wrap it. Nico.
Well, but it's a hard one, but I put in a second. I put in a second. I still don't think we close that gap on City. I know Arsenal coming, Arsenal will be definitely a strong team, But I think we could pull off a second and maybe a fight. So let me see if we can get City a fight. But I open for a second. So City again, it will be 4. That will be 4 from City, 4 straight. Way boy. I put in a second, boy. I feel Liverpool will bounce back. And we say Liverpool and Arsenal 4th.
All right, so yours is City, United, Liverpool, and Arsenal.
Yeah.
All right, JP, where's yours?
It's a tough one, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
I don't want to get out for in a row, so. But I don't think we quite at the level of taking our top spot yet. I mean, stranger things have happened in football, but I don't want to get City a 4th in a row. I really don't want to get them back. So I will go brave because I ain't getting nobody else if I'm not giving us. I say we taking it. Because I'm not giving City that 4th. So we taking it. When Asmus Hojlund according to Dwayne. When he take off and start to bag them, we will take that top spot. Arsenal 2nd, City 3rd, Liverpool 4th. No, Newcastle 4th.
Newcastle 4th. So who missing out? Liverpool?
Liverpool losing out.
All right.
Yeah.
Chef, what are you saying with your predictions for the top 4?
Chef freeze up, boy. Oh, okay.
City, Arsenal, United, Castle.
Like
same thing from
you
last season.
You in a replay. You're warming up your lunch or whatever. You in a microwave and coming back out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to see Liverpool with nothing.
Good.
Liverpool can stay in Europe for my players.
Alright, this might be controversial. As I say, I come for red kung fu tonight. So I give Newcastle it.
What?
Yeah,
United 2nd.
Can Newcastle what?
Hey, it is my pick. Newcastle.
Nah.
United. Arsenal and City.
City 4th?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're ready for Kung Fu, boy.
Yeah.
Ready for Kung Fu, eh?
And I only won't believe team of 5th place.
Brighton.
Brighton 5th.
It's time for Dwayne to go and sleep.
But again, kicks on her.
No.
Alright.
No, but what I'm saying.
For that to happen, City had to say, City had to pack up mid-season.
No, but what I'm saying, right?
City had to pack up mid-season and say, boy, I go, yes, I go.
Listen,
I go.
This season will have some upset. All it won't believe it on. I'm telling you.
But here what I'm saying, right? Here what I'm saying. This is the first time in how much years Newcastle going to have Champions League football,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I still waiting to see, and I don't think they might treat with it like a big club supposed to treat with it, right? Eddie Howe now
think
again
so?
a taste, Eddie
Ah,
Howe
well.
now again a taste of European football, boy. And especially when you see Chelsea, now they don't be rating Chelsea, you know. When you look at Chelsea, you look at Brighton, how these teams performing, right? Those are the teams that you would have probably beat before that could come and take points from you, right? Especially when you are midweek games and you got to be rotating your team and you're not accustomed with that kind of rigor. Newcastle are accustomed playing one game a week and all here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So to come and throw Newcastle in that mix and them say them gonna win
Yep.
the league and thing, dog. Hey,
Nah, listen. The reason why I play Newcastle there, right? Last season, Newcastle had nothing to really play for, and they went for it. And what are they play? This
But they finished
season,
fourth. They finished fourth.
still, who was expecting Newcastle to be fourth when the season starts? Nobody picked Newcastle fourth. Nobody, right? This season, Newcastle have everything to play for, right? Newcastle back in the day was always a team in Champions League and thing, you know, right? And now that they're back there again, them intend to make a statement this season, you know.
Stop that.
What? Newcastle intend to make a statement. So that way you're saying that's where Reem saying about Newcastle ain't going to treat it like a big team. That nonsense. Honestly, that nonsense.
That is mad talk.
No, actually, as I said, when I started my statement, I said back in the day. I never say recently. I said back in the day, Newcastle was a big team, and when they were in them type of positions, they treated it as a big team. So, but you saying they're not going to treat it as a big team? That nonsense.
No, I didn't say
that. Nonsense.
Well, probably I said
that's what you said. That way you say
probably,
Kung Fu.
Probably. Oh, it come out wrong. But the point I'm making, right? I'm not seeing, the experience within the team to treat with everything how we expect a big club who are accustomed playing a game every 3 days, right? And we're not talking about games where you can rotate your squad. We're talking about games where you need to win. They're not playing Europa League where you can afford to play some team down in Uzbekistan and they could play under 23s. We're talking about Champions League here, though. Right? So when you have to play your Champions League and you have to play your best squad against a Bayern Munich or a Barcelona, then come midweek to play Brighton or even United. Right?
Look, you for your own self, right? You for your own self.
You know what's happening?
It could go back in the video. You for your own self say Newcastle put out 2 teams this weekend here, right? And the 2 teams they put out, one yesterday and one today, is teams that can beat anybody. You for yourself say that.
Yeah.
So what changed? What changed between 5 minutes ago? What changed between 5 minutes ago and now?
Right. Yeah. The difference is right. It have a difference when you talk about competitive football when it means something, right? How you'll formulate a team to play a league game as opposed to playing a friendly. The depth is one thing. The depth is one. But listen, no, hear me out. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 teams that they played between yesterday and today comprise of fellas who I believe will be starting 11. Obviously, when you're going up against Barcelona, you're going to play Man City in the league. The team that would have played yesterday is not the same 11 you'll play. You know what I'm saying? So you are the know-how, and then not only that, on top of that, now remember these guys not accustomed to that level of football.
But them is full international players, Reem. So
that was saying that.
Different, you know. I remember. Hold on, let me finish. Let me make a point. I remember when Leicester win the league, and then they went the season after and they play Champions League. I remember what happened to the Leicester team. That's the same Leicester team.
Yeah, well, how much of them was international players?
That Leicester team, man. Come on. That Leicester team can't compare to this Newcastle team.
And they win the Premier League.
Come on, man. Come on.
As a team win the Premier League.
Use a Marshall fan now. Use a Marshall fan. Wait till we talk.
I want to hear every prediction before I log out.
No, as hard as it is, and I know JP didn't want to do it, I think City can still take it. Right? I really feel that we could push second. We could push Arsenal. We could push second, but we had to get we act together. Right, third, I go in Liverpool. Right, and fourth, I go in Newcastle.
The away games is this decider games for us.
Yeah, that's the
The
night.
away games.
Yeah, Nico, easy.
All right, later.
Yeah, man. Let me get some comments here, guys, and then we could wrap it. All right. Travis Mendoza on the Insight. Thanks for joining. He's saying top 4 City, United, Arsenal, Liverpool. All right. He also okay. So Simeon saying, imagine after struggling to score last season, we haven't played with a striker in pre-season. Hard to predict without seeing that. I see us fourth, but being better than last year. Right? Well, better than last year, we second, huh?
What?
Fourth, yeah, but better than last year, we second by.
He probably talking points. Right?
Okay.
No, he talk and playing style.
Yeah. Travis saying here Chelsea and Castle around the top 6. Yeah. Eric saying here with the current squad, and this being Ten Hag's second season, once no major injuries, I'm expecting around 80 to 85 points in the league, top 4, deeper in the Champions League, and hopefully a trophy, preferably FA Cup. Yeah, I taken that. Right? Asen saying here, nah, not Newcastle. He really looking for Rabs. Right? Eric saying here, if Greenwood play, we win in the league. Asen saying here, Newcastle in there yet. Right? He also saying here, Chelsea need to be watched as well. They're playing one game a week, and exactly. Right?
And that's a good point, actually.
The thing with Chelsea also might be the inexperience of the players to the league. Yeah, they have a lot of players who are not familiar with the Premier League. So they look good pre-season.
Yeah.
But coming and do that in England for 38 games is a different story.
Correct. Simeon saying here, Dwayne reasoning not far-fetched. Maybe City feels the loss of players more than expected. Newcastle incremental improvement has been impressive, and they have built a squad. All right, so Dwayne, Simeon agreeing with your prediction that City go finish 4th and Newcastle go win. Crazy, Anyway.
What's he there today?
The 6th of August.
Because I want we come back to this recording, because that amount of balls doing now talk, it deserves to be brought back up at the end of the season. And it's for agreeing nonsense.
And if it work out, Phil.
If it work out well, then kudos. Yeah, kudos. But boy,
but that's not coming. That's not happening.
And you see Simeon pulling out himself. He saying,
I say it is affection. Yeah. Yes, Rowley. That's a backpedal. Don't backpedal.
You don't know anything what we're doing.
Hey, Simeon, I come for Kung Fu tonight.
And that's why I had to agree with Reem. I just personally find when a team not accustomed to playing twice a week, no matter how much of a squad you build, it's a very difficult thing to do, especially your first season back. So to say Newcastle has improved and stuff, but to say Newcastle could really put out a proper performance midweek and then come and do that on a weekend and then fight on all them cups and things, I find that tough, but we will see.
Yeah, and they go sort of see what big teams is be going through and what is be that, and that's why when this fella with the Zerbi talky dotations about Ten Hag and this and that. You have played the kind of football Man United play right through the season with a half injured squad. You're missing certain players through injury, suspension, and we still finish on top of you. And as long we still make 2 finals. and you're coming to talk crap about, oh, you play better and you know exactly what. Them fellas don't know he was playing one game a week.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's why I always say some of them small team and them just jump out themselves now and start to talk real ignorant.
Yeah, Europa to play this season, you go see.
Well, that was
Yeah,
we go see.
Europa to play.
It's a different story. Yeah, it's a different story.
You'll see now.
Yeah. It's something saying here, and the EPL bitter. You could have a game Wednesday evening. First, exactly. You know what time we had to complain about that? You had a game Wednesday, and they want to get the early game Saturday morning. You did.
And then
So,
when the
yeah.
coach talk about that, he complaining too much. All right. Well, you will see.
Yeah.
Newcastle going to knock out in the group stage of the gang get knock out in group stage of the Champions League.
But with that squad they're building, right?
Nah.
They need to compete on multiple fronts, because after a while that dressing room could get a little tense, because men go to tense. So that's saying, I'm not underestimating Newcastle, but I'm just saying this is something new for them in recent years, right? Yeah. And it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy. You know? Last thing was, right? We was hearing some stuff about Greenwood. Alright? Now we see it had a story that was kind of dismissed by Adidas. That one that Adidas want to sponsor Greenwood and they all for coming back. And then Adidas, a representative, come and squash that as a lie, and then we come and sign a mega deal with Adidas. Now, in my opinion, obviously that would have been part of the discussion, with Mason Greenwood, because reputation and marketing and sales and all them kind of thing, that could affect, a brand according to how the public view it. So, what do you think? Or do you think Greenwood coming back, or do you think, Adidas, the fact that we signed an extension with Adidas had anything to do with, a decision being made on Greenwood, or what are you saying, JP?
I think if Greenwood were to come back, he may have been back in his squad already for pre-season. Because I think enough time passed since the case was dismissed, and there would have been some kind of urgency in terms of the talks with sponsors and the people around the club in terms of how they feel about Greenwood being a part of the squad again. We know that kick a ball how long now. So I think it's something that I come into terms with, that if I see Greenwood playing football again, it will be for mine. I don't think it's going to work out for me in that way.
Okay. What are you saying, Chef?
We was discussing this sometime this week. I personally think if he was to leave, if he would have been loaned out or sold already, it would have happened already. Then again, Manchester does do business so slow, it could happen this week. But I honestly think if we start this season and he's still there, you're going to see him in his squad eventually. JP made up some points there about, there's a lot of moving parts, if you understand, when it comes to dealing with that whole Mason Greenwood position thing. It's not something like a regular occurrence to the team. So that it have a set way of dealing with it. There were just so much different things. Then I'm sure they had to talk to the woman part of there's just so much. And Manchester, and to make I had to say this, honestly, people might find the club move slow, but I honestly think the club did well to take the time and look at everything and make decisions concerning it. Another thing men had to realize too, and this is why I rate how the United moved when it came to dealing with Mason. Look at how much players lately who had cases being thrown out, men winning the cases. After things was looking so bad for a player, men losing the whole career, and then it coming to pass now that there was innocent, or they were found innocent, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
this situation with Mason, it has been a very tricky thing for the club. But if I think if at the start of the season he's still there, they're gonna work him into the squad eventually. Because his name is there on the squad as
Yeah,
a
yeah.
registered player still. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Dwayne?
But I want the youth back in the team then.
It hard to place our finger as to where he will go or what will happen to him. But I know with that deal we signed with Adidas, he had to be part of that conversation, right? Because they had to know what's the direction. So for that to happen, I believe United already know the direction they're going with Greenwood. It's just a matter of sorting out certain details and stuff, right? If it don't happen before the season starts or before the transfer window, which is September 1st, well, I mean, Greenwood will be here because it will be unfair to youth to go through the whole transfer and then after the transfer tell him, you're no longer part of the project. You know what I'm saying? So I think it will happen sooner or later, but
Yeah.
I honestly feel he's going to stay, right? Than go. I don't know. I just have a feeling he'll be staying.
All right. I think we would have seen Ison's comment. He's saying if he was to be let go, he would have been loaned already. All right.
Not necessarily.
You see,
Not necessarily.
my
'Cause
question.
look, Emran. Emran's supposed to go on loan and he's still here.
No, but
So
you see, the thing with Greenwood is who would want to take a chance on Greenwood right now? Because if Man United not taking a clear position on it,
and
then
next thing too.
which club willing to take that risk? Because remember, in his situation, it's not that he win his case, his case was dismissed.
Yep.
So he didn't
Yeah.
really win his case. He wasn't really proven innocent. So his
And in certain countries you can't go.
it's a little different, if you understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Saudi Arabia go take him. Turkey not going to take him.
Yeah.
So he limited.
So it's which club willing to take that risk to take him on loan or to buy him? So we saying if he move in this window, but is who really approaching to say, well, I want Greenwood?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to consider, and I mean, I guess the people who pay the big bucks
There's
to
a
make
lot.
decisions will hope
There's a lot.
they make the right decision. Wakanda seems to think that Greenwood will be back. All right. Sinian saying here just vexed because same way they ain't name a buyer, it's the same way they ain't make a decision on Greenwood. Yeah, well, I mean,
Yep.
let's see. I think somebody said that we might see some movements this week. So let's see if Mason Greenwood name is part of. But they did say though, from some of the journalists that a decision on Greenwood will be made before the start of the league. So that's
Season,
that's this week. So chances that we may get some information on that. So let's see how it goes, right? I mean, for me, it's about interesting point somebody made, right? They say a lot of people, kind of judging the Mason Greenwood situation based on his talent. And they were saying, if you feel the same way about Greenwood, if he was a player of Maguire's ilk, or I
Right.
think we'd have want him back.
We have stuck to about him long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that is how you know where people's motives are in terms of judging their biases in terms of judging the situation. So, I mean, we have a Chelsea man on the inside. He's saying, "I hope Mount shocks."
Yeah, my brother told me that today. I'll see our next Chelsea partner today. Same thing. Them fellas praying on Mount right now.
Yeah, boy.
To bring wrong,
Yeah. But he'll come good. Nico we're here, so he'll come
Right
good.
now, they need to study. They need to study Enzo. Study Olympic. Study Enzo. Study Murdoch, and them set up money or they spend on them and the cat score on a bando.
Study
Go
FFP.
study.
That
We
was
good
to
over
study.
here.
Study FFP.
Yeah, Kaden saying it had offers for him though. Well, I mean, I really do think this upcoming week we gonna get some information, some news on this. You know. Anyway,
I honestly don't think that Mason would be short of offers, huh?
yeah. So guys, I mean, we've come to the end of the show. We went way over time. So thanks, for everybody who would have stayed in and taken part in the little conversation. It was nice, man. It was nice. It was nice. And I mean, even those who came in after, I want to encourage you to watch back the first part because it had some little sobering stuff that we were looking at in the first part. As it relates to the local grassroots football in Trinidad and Tobago, we want to really be a part of, promoting good things for football in Trinidad and Tobago, and not just putting a deaf ear to the cries, So, I mean, JP, Chef, Dwayne, thanks for joining. It was good this evening, guys. We know.
By chance, anybody know if we having any closed door games this week? Because normally we have a closed door game. Anybody hear anything?
I feel we might probably hear about it,
Yeah, I know normally we just have a closed door game to close off the preseason play, but we have a closed door game before the season starts.
I feel so.
With the
I feel
first
so.
team.
I feel
Yeah.
so. I feel so. Yeah, them fellas need. Yeah. Just knowing.
Yeah, we normally do. We normally do. So. Yeah.
Yeah. Blessings, man. Ethan, man. Blessings. Thanks for joining, man. Yeah, guys. So we're gonna be here again next week. To review our first game of the 2023-2024 Premier League season. Right. Also, fantasy football is back. All in all, United Fantasy Football. So, check out the Facebook page. We will post the code on it. Right. So make sure and organize and centralize. Have a good night, fellas. Blessings. See you on the next one.
Come on.